My beloved child, pause. Breathe. You're spinning and the noise inside you is getting so loud that it's hard for your heart to hear. I see the waves rising. I feel the panic pressing on your chest. This isn't only worry, it's a battle in your thoughts that's trying to mute my nearness. The more you imagine what could go wrong, the more you turn down the sound of my voice. I don't want that for you. This is important. You've let the storm within decide how you walk, how you breathe, how you believe, and it's draining your strength before the blessing even reaches you. You've told yourself that if you can solve everything in your mind, you will finally be at peace. But I never asked you to rescue yourself. I never designed you to carry it all alone. You ask where I am while your thoughts run like wind with no anchor, but I haven't left you. I'm right here, waiting for you to be still long enough to notice me again. That steady buzz of dread, that constant planning, that second guessing that won't stop, that isn't my spirit. You're under pressure in your mind, and I want you to fight by resting in me. Calm down. Not because everything is fixed, but because I am still God. Breathe again, not because the chaos vanished, but because I am with you in the middle of it. You are not losing control. I am inviting you to hand it back. I can't fill a heart already packed with fear. I can't pour comfort into a soul that keeps shouting over my peace. So stop letting the storm inside you speak louder than the promise over you. You are not alone, and you are not going under. I speak peace to your thoughts. I call stillness over your panic. You don't need to know how every detail will work out. You need to know that I will. Turn down the volume of your what-ifs and turn your face toward me. I am still here, still speaking, still stronger than what scares you. Choose silence inside. Press pause on the noise. Lean in again. This moment matters because what's coming is too precious to let fear trample it. The door is opening. The answer is moving toward you. If you let the noise rule you now, you'll miss what I've already released. Be calm, not because the world is calm, but because your Savior has spoken. I am here. You've been walking like you're behind, like you missed the cue, as if heaven advanced without you. That is not true. Worry wrapped itself around your sense of self and whispered fake timelines into your spirit. But I am cutting through the lie now. You are not late to anything I wrote for you. You are exactly where you need to be for what I'm about to reveal. Those thoughts insisted that others are ahead, that you fell short, that you wasted too much time. Those thoughts do not speak for me. I don't measure you by the pace of anyone else. I don't grade you on speed or compare your path to another story. I chose you before the delays, and I scheduled your breakthrough on purpose. This moment isn't about early or late. It's about ready. Even now I'm shaping something inside you that you'll need where I'm taking you. Worry has no seat at this table. I didn't place your miracle in someone else's hands. I didn't ignore what you prayed. I didn't overlook the tears you hid. Your name is still on the blessing. Your purpose has not expired. The enemy wants you to panic, to feel unworthy, to believe you were passed over. But I promote in hidden rooms, and I've watched your faith grow in quiet places. You planted seeds no one noticed. You stayed when leaving looked easier. Now heaven answers. Do not let the illusion of delay steal the joy of expectation. Do not mourn a moment that hasn't ended. You are not behind. You are being aligned. Worry showed you false finish lines and fed you unkind comparisons to distract you from the truth. You are seen, you are chosen, and you are on schedule. Doors are opening with your name engraved. and they won't open for anyone else. What I designed for your hands won't fit another's. Stop panicking about where you are. Stop asking if it's too late. My timing is not your enemy. It is your protection. I delayed certain things because you would have settled if I gave them too soon. I held back what you begged for because I wanted better than you knew to ask. So instead of worrying, worship. Instead of comparing, prepare. This is not the end. This is the page before the turn. What I have for you is arriving right on time. Hold your place. Don't walk away. Don't give up. And do not believe the lie that I forgot you. I carved your name into this miracle before you knew you'd need it. Your delay is not denial. It is a setup for greater than you imagined. You keep reaching for control like it could save you, certain that if you manage every angle, nothing will fall apart. But I've already stepped into the places you're afraid to trust me with. I have entered rooms you haven't seen, opened doors you don't yet know about, and quieted threats that never reached you. While you stayed up building backup plans and forecasting every outcome, I prepared a path where chaos can't follow. Why do you still carry the pressure to solve everything? I didn't call you to fix the future. I called you to walk with me into it. Every time you cling to control, you pull away from promise. Every time you try to manage what is beyond your reach, you shrink the space where my power wants to move. I don't need you to arrange what I already perfected. I need your hands off what isn't your assignment. This matters because the blessing ahead isn't for the version of you gripped by fear. It's for the version that has surrendered, trusted, and let me be God without interruption. You are not the architect of destiny. I am. I set every beam and brick with purpose. You'll understand when you let go. The urge to predict every outcome is not wisdom. It is warfare. It tells you that safety comes from control, but safety comes from me. What is mine cannot be ruined by you unless you refuse to let me carry it. You are not behind or abandoned. You are simply tired from sitting in a seat that belongs to me. I've already gone ahead of your decisions. I've placed answers just past the corner you haven't turned. I've scheduled divine moments on days you haven't lived. I'm not reacting, I'm reigning. And the longer you fight for control, the longer you delay what's waiting. You pray for miracles while gripping your methods. You ask for new outcomes while holding on to old habits. I can't bless what you won't place in my hands. This is your gentle wake-up. Let me show you what freedom feels like. You won't create peace by pressure or earn alignment by effort. All that striving builds a wall around the blessing trying to reach you. I've already stepped into your tomorrow and removed what would have harmed you. I've cleared space for healing to unfold. Now I ask, kindly, firmly, release your grip. This next season needs surrender more than strategy. Trust doesn't mean you have all the facts. It means you believe I am faithful, even when the map is missing. Step back. Step aside. Let me do what only I can do. Your part is to breathe, follow, and believe. Not manipulate the outcome, not rush the timing, not rearrange what I've already positioned. Let me lead. Let me finish. I have made a way you could never build. Stop scaring yourself with scenes that will never touch you. You've been feeding shadows that have no authority over what I have sealed. Those worst-case endings, those heavy what-ifs, those are illusions sent to paralyze faith. I've watched you spend hours rehearsing danger and shrinking faith to fit fear. Hear me. The disaster you quietly expect is not on its way. The closed door you call a curse isn't in your story. You are not under attack from reality, but from imagination pushed by fear. That is how the enemy works. He cannot undo what I ordained, so he tries to disrupt your belief. If he can convince you to agree with the lie, you will forfeit peace before the promise arrives. Every moment spent meditating on dread surrenders ground in your mind that belongs to me. Don't let fear sit where faith was meant to rest. This stops now. I cut the cord between you and false predictions. I break the cycle that keeps you bracing for storms I did not send. Stop assuming the worst just because you cannot see the whole picture. My quiet is not danger. It is often the pause before deliverance. I'm not hiding bad news. I'm guarding good things while they form. You've let your thoughts drift into dark rooms I already closed to you. That failure you keep expecting, that betrayal you're preparing for, they are not arriving. If you keep staring at them, you'll miss what is. You'll miss the peace I'm offering now, the hope rising in your season, the chance to trust me deeper than you ever have. Don't water what I have uprooted. Don't fear what I have forbidden. You are safe, not because you are lucky, but because I have set protection around you that your eyes can't see. I have placed angels where you thought you stood alone. I have shut the mouths that plotted in secret. I have put out fires before they touched your name. But none of that helps if you wake expecting heartbreak. Live in what I promised, not in the fiction of fear. What if you stopped feeding the lies? What if you took your thoughts captive and set them in my hands? What if you lived like I meant it when I said no weapon formed against you will prosper? Do not reinforce a future that doesn't match my heart. That sudden downfall you quietly accept is not your portion. Your destiny isn't hanging by a thread of fear, it's anchored in my unshakable truth. I don't want you surviving by bracing for the worst. I want you thriving by expecting what I have spoken. When fear starts writing stories in your mind, interrupt it. Cast it down. Remember who you belong to and what I declared. You are not powerless here. Your thoughts do not get the final word. Speak my promises louder than fear's whisper. Call on me when panic rises. I am not far. I am near, closer than your breath, calming the storms your thoughts try to start. The thing you fear is not on the way, but the life I planned for you is. Don't let lies ruin what I'm about to reveal. Refuse to give power to predictions I never wrote. I need you to see this clearly. This isn't just nervous thinking anymore. It's a strategy meant to scatter your attention and numb your sensitivity to me. Worry has been used to drain your strength, color your perspective, and keep your eyes off what matters most. This is a meaningful hour in your journey, and your awareness is needed. I'm aligning pieces that ask for your obedience, not your obsession. While I've been preparing breakthrough, your attention has been hijacked by loops of fear, heavy analysis, and fatigue. The enemy cannot stop my plan, but if he steals your attention, you could walk past what's yours without knowing it. Distraction isn't harmless, it's costly. Every minute spent imagining what might fall apart is stolen from the instructions I'm trying to hand you, the redirection I'm whispering, the doors I'm opening, the healing I'm starting. You are surrounded by divine activity, but worry has fogged your view. You say you want clarity, yet you look through the lens of fear. It will blur what I'm making plain. You don't need all the answers right now. You need focus. Come back to me with undivided attention. Turn from what drains you and fix your heart on what I am saying. You are in a moment that could shape everything, but distraction is trying to disguise it as ordinary. If you keep feeding every anxious thought and following every spiral, you will lose sight of what I'm unveiling. I need your focus because what I'm about to reveal asks for sensitivity. I need your heart awake, not dulled by stress. I need your ears open, not filled with noise. I need your spirit steady, not wandering. This is not only about ending worry, it's about restoring discernment. You've been too distracted to recognize the shift already beginning. The person I'm bringing, the opportunity I'm opening, the healing I've begun. It's all moving, but worry turned your attention inward while heaven moved quietly. Shake off the cloud. Lift your eyes. Ask me what I'm doing instead of feeding fears of what might go wrong. I'm still in control. I'm still writing your story. I am placing key pieces where they belong, and your part is to pay attention. This is not the time to be scattered. It is not the time to let small worries eat big faith. I am speaking, and what I'm saying will guide you into the very place you've prayed to reach. I won't shout over the loud voices in your mind. Choose to quiet them. The distraction is coordinated, but I'm calling you higher, to breathe steady, to anchor your thoughts, to walk aware of what I'm doing, not what fear suggests. Come back to me now. Reclaim your focus before worry weakens your readiness. This is not only about calming down, it's about showing up for your next instruction. Lift your eyes, my child. I'm not hiding, I'm highlighting what's next. Don't let your attention drift. This moment is too sacred to miss. You've asked why you haven't heard me, but it isn't that I've gone quiet. It's that fear has been shouting over my whisper. When I bring direction, your thoughts rush like a flood and drown it out. You ask me to show you the way, and before I can answer, you play 5 scenarios I didn't write. I'm not keeping guidance from you. Your heart is so busy bracing for disaster that my words can't land. Your inner world has lived in alarm, and panic makes it hard to hear my peace. I don't compete with chaos. I speak into calm. Type yes if you're ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. That's why I keep calling you to be still. Not to make you inactive, but because stillness is the soil where my answers take root. Your questions matter, but the posture fighting them does not help. You keep checking circumstances for confirmation instead of quieting your soul for communion. I don't lead with pressure, I lead with presence. You say, Lord, speak, and then fill every moment with thinking, calculating, assuming, and reacting. My voice is not buried in complexity. It rests beneath the noise you haven't turned down. That tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the inability to rest. These are signs of misalignment, not my leading. You've tried to solve spiritual things with mental energy, and it has worn you out. I won't wrestle with your inner storm for attention. I invite you to release it. I have not stopped speaking, but my words need a listening heart, not just pleading lips. Make space, not only in your schedule, but in your soul. Clear the clutter, cancel the appointment with panic, interrupt the spiral of analysis. I am not the source of pressure. I am the giver of peace. You say you're waiting on me, but I've been waiting on you to let go long enough to hear what I've been saying. The clarity you want is near, but I won't hand you every step at once. This journey is about intimacy, not just information. You want the entire picture. I want your full attention. You want conclusions. I want communion. Sometimes my answer is a gentle nudge, a verse that glows, a holy pause, a dream you nearly dismiss. I speak in layers, and worry makes you deaf to the subtle. This is important, not because I'm angry, but because you're standing at the edge of something I don't want you to miss. I have timed the next instruction perfectly, but your hearing must be healed to receive it. Lay the fear down, not once, but whenever it rises. Take it captive. Tell it to be quiet. Choose faith over frantic. You ask why I haven't answered. Now I ask why you haven't quieted long enough to notice that I have. I've been replying in the moments you overlooked, in places you didn't expect, in the very stillness you feared. Tune your heart to me, and you'll realize I've been answering all along. You've tried to put every piece together, to read every sign, to decode the silence, but I never asked you to carry that weight. You've acted like the architect of your future when I only asked you to walk with me moment by moment. You stare at your circumstances, trying to calculate how it could all come together. But reasoning was never meant to replace reliance. What I'm building doesn't require your blueprints. It asks for your belief. I'm not testing your intelligence. I'm deepening your intimacy. I'm not waiting for you to solve the mystery. I'm inviting you to trust me through the unknown. I know you want to skip to the end, to remove uncertainty, to explain every delay. I didn't promise full explanation. I promised faithful company. I'm calling you to deeper dependence, not deeper decoding. Your need for answers keeps you from the peace that comes from knowing me. I'm not asking you to map every step. I'm asking you to keep walking when the path disappears for a while. I'm not looking for your strategy. I'm looking for your surrender, because the blessing I'm preparing is received by trust, not by intellect. Each time you try to anticipate what's next, you lose sight of what I'm doing now. Each time you demand the finish line, you miss the joy of finding me in the journey. You weren't made to guide yourself or predict divine timing. I have not asked you to carry every detail, only to stay close enough to hear my voice. I know waiting without clarity feels like wandering, but you are not lost. You are being led in a way that breaks your dependence on certainty and anchors your soul in me. If I told you everything at once, you'd lean on information instead of transformation. If I laid out each outcome, you'd trust the plan more than the one who wrote it. So I've kept some pieces hidden, not to torment you, but to teach you that I am trustworthy in the dark. You are not punished by the unknown. You are prepared by it. Real trust shows when nothing makes sense, and you choose me anyway. I'm with you in every step, guiding with purpose even when the direction feels delayed. This is not the season of figuring it all out. It's the sacred stretch of following when it's foggy. You're not failing because you're uncertain. You're growing because you keep moving when comfort says turn back. Your progress doesn't depend on perfect understanding. It rests on full yielding. I'm building strength that grows when sight gives way to faith. Soon you'll see that what felt like confusion was construction, that every delay and redirection was shaping your character for a blessing that would have been too heavy too soon. Breathe. Set down the pressure to know the ending. I've sealed it with goodness. Let your questions rest in my presence. Let anxious predictions dissolve in who I am. Stop trying to solve what I asked you to trust through. I never required you to understand it all, only to trust me as I bring it all to pass. You don't realize how many gifts I've already placed along your path, because worry has been stealing your attention from them. I've prepared joy and restoration to meet you where you are, but anxious thoughts have made it hard for your heart to receive them. You ask, when will the breakthrough come? When will the heaviness lift? But I need you to understand something important. Worry is not just wearing you down. It is holding the door closed to the joy I've been trying to bring in. The thoughts you nurture become the atmosphere you live in. If you keep feeding fear, joy will always feel far away. But joy has not left your life. It has simply been crowded out. You don't need everything fixed before you can feel light again. Joy is not the result of resolution. It is the result of recognizing my nearness. When you remember that I am still here, still good, still working, joy rises even before the answer arrives. But fear has convinced you that peace is irresponsible, that rest means you're not trying hard enough, that relief means you must be ignoring reality. That is not truth. That is a lie meant to exhaust you. The joy I give doesn't require escape from difficulty. It grows even in uncertainty. It stands tall inside the storm. It laughs not after the breakthrough, but on the way to it. But if you continue holding tight to thoughts that drain you, there will not be enough room for what lifts you. You have made space for fear at the table of your heart, and joy has been waiting outside. I am asking, gently but seriously, will you let joy back in? Will you allow gladness to rise without waiting for every answer to be clear? You don't need perfect clarity to celebrate my presence. You just need to shift your gaze toward me. Joy returns when you remember you are held, not by circumstance, but by love. And my love for you has never been fragile. My joy has been knocking for a long time now. Open the door. Let it breathe in your life again. Let it sing through you, even while the story is still unfolding. Joy is your inheritance, not a reward for solving everything, a gift that blooms when trust takes root. It's time to take your heart back from the heaviness. It's time to welcome joy again. You have carried a quiet ache, a whisper that maybe you've wandered too far or messed up too deeply for me to stay close. That thought did not come from me. It was planted by fear, nurtured by shame, and reinforced by pain. And I am pulling it out by the root right now. Listen, I have not moved away from you. Not when the tears came. Not when your confidence wavered. Not when you felt empty. Not even when your choices left you disappointed in yourself. I was there when you wondered whether I still cared. I held your heart when you thought no one saw the breaking inside you. I stayed through the nights you didn't know how to pray. I didn't leave when you felt overwhelmed. I didn't change my love when your faith felt small. My love is not conditional. My presence is not fragile. I don't walk away when life gets heavy. I draw closer. You've been afraid that if you are not strong enough, pure enough, steady enough, I might decide you are too difficult to stay near. But my love does not fade when you struggle. I do not love you because of your perfection. I love you because you are mine. You've been bracing your heart as if I am another person who leaves. But I am not like those who have walked away. I don't abandon. I don't forget. I don't unchoose what I have chosen. I am your constant, your refuge, your safe place to fall and to heal. Even when you can't feel me, I am closer than your own breath. My care for you does not rise and fall with your good days or hard days. I stay. I remain. I hold steady. The enemy wants you to believe that you lost me somewhere along the way, but he cannot undo what I declared. You belong to me. You are seen. You are held. I have not changed my mind about you. I am still guiding. I am still supporting. I am still working on your behalf. You are not alone, not for a moment, and you never will be. Let that sink in. Let it calm the shaking inside. My presence is not something you must earn, it's something I freely give. I haven't left, and I will not leave. You've looked at your difficulties and assumed they meant something was broken beyond repair. But what you have not seen yet is how deeply I am working through every part of your path. Not one step has been wasted. Even the pain, the pauses, the confusion, all of it has been touched by my intentional hand. I did not allow these experiences to break you. I allowed them to awaken parts of your heart that needed healing. What felt like pressure was not punishment, it was growth. What felt like fire was not destruction, it was refining. I am not stripping away your joy, I am restoring your foundation. I know it's been heavy. I know there were moments you wondered if your future was collapsing. But I did not lead you into loss. I led you into transformation. There were places inside you that needed light, wounds that needed cleansing, patterns that needed breaking. I didn't lead you into the hard places to harm you. I led you there so healing could finally reach depths you've tried to hide. Your tears have not been wasted. Your pain has not been pointless. I have been near through all of it, protecting what needed protecting and reshaping what needed to be renewed. You thought things falling apart meant I was absent, but I was closer than ever, holding together the parts of you that mattered most. I withheld certain outcomes, not to limit you, but to prepare you. I delayed certain blessings, not to frustrate you, but to strengthen you so you would recognize your worth and not settle for less. You have grown in places you didn't know needed growth. You have developed strength no one else saw forming. You learned to cling to me when nothing made sense. And that kind of trust will carry you into the future with unshakable stability. What looked like collapse was actually reconstruction. I am not done yet. You are on the edge of seeing why I didn't let things unfold sooner. What I am bringing you into requires the version of you I have been carefully shaping. This isn't the end. It's the rebuilding, the restoration, the rising. You've been imagining a future shaped by fear, a version of tomorrow built from worst-case scenarios. You wake up bracing for something to go wrong, as if destruction is always near. But that version of the future is not the one I wrote for you. It is a counterfeit, not born from my spirit, but from fear trying to predict what it cannot see. I did not give you fear. I gave you my presence. I gave you authority. I gave you the right to hope. When you let fear define your expectations, you hand it the power to shape your life. You begin preparing for losses that are not coming. You begin expecting heartbreak where I've planned healing, and you slowly forget how to look forward with joy. I need you to let go of the future fear has been creating in your mind. That future is not real. That is not your story. I am not setting you up for collapse. I am setting you up for fulfillment. You have been imagining outcomes where I do not show up, but I have never failed to meet you. I never leave my promises unfinished. I come with healing, with restoration, with divine reversal, with goodness that overtakes what the enemy tried to destroy. Do not live expecting disappointment. Expect me. Expect my goodness. Expect my provision. Expect my nearness. If the future you imagine does not reflect my character, it does not belong in your mind. Release it. Let it go. I am the author of your story, and I do not write endings of defeat for those I love. You've been allowing every passing thought to sit in the center of your heart. You listen, examine, and absorb ideas that were never meant to guide you. Your peace has not been stolen. It has been given away to voices that don't speak with my authority. When a thought arrives that contradicts my goodness, it is not from me. When a thought stirs panic instead of peace, it is not from me. When a thought weighs you down instead of lifting you, it is not from me. You do not need to entertain every thought that enters your mind. You can choose which voice you allow to lead your heart. Peace is your inheritance, but peace must be protected. This means gently, consistently asking, "Who told me this?" If it didn't come from me, release it. Your peace is precious. Guard it. Hold it close. Let my voice be the loudest one inside you. What I speak brings rest. What I speak brings clarity. What I speak brings life. You've been stretched beyond what you were meant to hold because you believed if you didn't carry everything, everything would fall apart. But my child, you were never asked to hold it all. The weight pressing on your chest is not mine. The pressure keeping you up at night does not come from my spirit. I do not burden you with survival. I offer you rest, real rest, the kind that restores your soul. To receive it, you must release what is not yours to carry. You do not need to control everything to be safe. You are safe because I hold everything. You are not being irresponsible by letting go. You are being obedient. You are not losing strength. You are finding it where it always was, in me. Let the weight fall from your hands. You don't have to carry this anymore. I've got you. I always have. And I always will. You've spent so much time trying to get ahead of pain, trying to predict every outcome, as if knowing what comes next could somehow protect you from it. But I never asked you to live in tomorrow. I asked you to live with me in today. Worry disguises itself as wisdom. It sounds like preparation when really it's just fear rehearsing loss. And that fear has been stealing your strength for the moment you're actually in, the only moment I've asked you to live. When you try to live today and tomorrow at the same time, your soul becomes exhausted. I didn't design your heart to carry 2 days at once. I give strength for now, not for imagined futures. I give peace for this breath, not for scenarios that may never come. You call it planning, but sometimes it's just fear wearing a responsible face. You don't need to prepare for every possibility. You need to stay close to me. Let me prepare you. Let me handle the parts you cannot see. I have already walked ahead of you. I have already taken care of the threats you don't know about. I have already arranged provision before the need even appears. When you leave the present to live in fear of the future, you miss the grace I am pouring into this very moment. Come back to now. Here is where I am. Here is where your peace waits. Here is where your strength returns. You don't need the map. You need the guide. Rest your mind. Take your heart out of tomorrow. I am already there. Be here with me now. You've been stretching yourself to hold things together, believing strength means never letting anything slip. But strength is not forcing yourself to carry what is too heavy. Strength is knowing when to place the weight in my hands. You've tried to be the one who keeps every piece, manages every emotion, fills every gap, and proves you're not falling apart. But I never asked you to prove anything. I don't need your performance. I want your trust. You don't have to carry every concern, every relationship, every outcome. That's not faith. That is fear wearing a mask of responsibility. Let yourself rest. Let yourself lean. Let yourself be held. Your worth is not in how well you manage pressure. Your worth is in who you are to me, mine. I am not waiting for you to be stronger. I am waiting for you to let me be your strength. Every time you feel like you are about to break, Remember, breaking is not failure. Breaking is the place where the weight finally falls into my hands. I will not let you shatter. I am underneath you. I always have been. Breathe. Right here. Right now. You are not alone in this moment. You have never been alone in any moment. I need you to hear this softly. You don't have to keep pretending you're okay when you're tired. You don't have to keep smiling when your heart is sore. You don't have to keep holding your breath, waiting for something to go wrong. Let yourself breathe again. You don't have to be on guard in my presence. You don't have to analyze every emotion or justify your tears. I am not asking you to be composed. I am asking you to be honest. Let your soul exhale. Let the tension release. Let the tears fall if they need to. You are safe. You are held. You are allowed to rest. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am not waiting for you to fix yourself. I am here to carry you while you heal. You have nothing to prove to me. Not now, not ever. Come lay down the worry. Come lay down the exhaustion. Come lay down the fear of what tomorrow may bring. Tomorrow is mine. Today I give to you, and I give it with peace, with gentleness, with rest that settles deep. My child, it's okay to stop trying so hard. Let yourself be loved. You've been trying so hard to stay ahead of everything, as if your value is measured by how well you manage what hurts. But I never asked you to hold your world together with your own hands. I asked you to let me hold you. You don't have to watch every detail. You don't have to anticipate every shift. You don't have to be the guard of your own heart every moment of every day. I am guarding you. I am covering you. I am watching over what you can't see. You've been living as if your safety is fragile, as if one wrong step could ruin everything. But my child, your life is not held together by luck or by your performance. It is held together by my faithfulness. And my faithfulness does not waver. You can rest now. When your thoughts begin to run, slow them by remembering, I am here. When your chest tightens, breathe deeply and remember, I am near. When your mind creates stories built on fear instead of truth, gently return to me. You don't have to argue with your fear. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to fix the feeling before you can return to me. Just look toward me. Just whisper my name. Just let your heart lean. Peace is not found in solving everything. Peace is found in surrendering everything. I do not rush you. I do not expect you to get this perfect. Healing is not a straight line. It is gentle. It is slow. It is layered. And I am walking every layer with you. When you feel tired, that is not failure. That is your soul asking for my rest. When you feel overwhelmed, that is not weakness. That is your spirit reminding you that you were never meant to carry the weight alone. You are learning to trust me, not in the absence of uncertainty, but in the middle of it. That is real trust. That is real faith. That is real growth. And I am so proud of you. Even when you think you're not doing well, I am proud of you. Even when all you did today was keep breathing, I am proud of you. Even when your prayers were quiet tears and not words, I am proud of you. Even when you felt small, tired, confused, unsure, I did not see failure in you. I saw courage. I saw endurance. I saw a heart that is still trying, even through the weight. You are not falling behind. You are not disappointing me. You are not failing at this. You are growing. You are softening. You are healing. And that takes time. It takes grace. It takes gentleness. So be gentle with yourself the way I am gentle with you. You don't have to hurry your heart. You don't have to rush your process. You don't have to force clarity. Let peace come slowly. Let it settle. Let it warm you from the inside out. I am here. I have always been here, and I am not going anywhere. Rest your mind against me. Let your heart lean. Let your spirit breathe again. My child, you are safe, not because everything is certain, but because you are held. And I am holding you now. You've been moving through your days like someone who is bracing for impact, waiting for something to fall apart simply because things have felt heavy for so long. But heaviness is not the sign of what's coming. It is the sign of what is healing. You are not standing on the edge of collapse. You are standing on the edge of release. You are closer to peace than your fear has allowed you to believe. I need you to stop assuming that stillness means danger. Sometimes stillness means recovery. Sometimes silence means I'm doing a deeper work beneath the surface. Not every quiet moment is a warning. Some quiet moments are invitations to breathe, to soften, to return to yourself. You have been in survival mode for so long that slowing down feels wrong, even when I am the one slowing you. But I am not slowing you to delay you. I am slowing you to steady you. Your spirit has been tired, your heart has been stretched, your mind has been running without rest. Let me bring your soul back to center. Let me teach you how to breathe again without fear sitting in your chest. You do not need to be on alert in my presence. You don't have to guard yourself from me. You don't have to perform for me. You don't have to explain to me why you feel the way you do. I already know, and I am not disappointed. Come to me with the trembling. Come to me with the confusion. Come to me with the undone places. You have nothing to hide here. You've been believing that if you really let me see the depth of your fear, your doubts, your frustrations, I might step back. But I do not step back. I step closer. I am not shocked by your emotion. I am not bothered by your questions. I am not burdened by the weight you are trying so hard to carry alone. Let yourself be honest with me. Let yourself be small in my arms if you need to. You do not need to be brave every moment to be loved by me. There is a softness I want to bring back into your life, not a weakness, a softness. A gentleness within yourself that has been lost under the weight of holding everything together. You do not have to live clenched. You do not have to live bracing. You do not have to live anticipating the worst. I am not preparing you for disaster. I am preparing you for restoration. What's coming isn't something to fear. What's coming is something to make room for. So breathe. Not the shallow breath that keeps you in survival, but the deep breath that reminds your body you are safe now. You are allowed to exhale. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to soften again. I am here. I am holding you, and I am not letting go. You've been trying to measure your progress by how strong you feel, but healing doesn't always look like strength. Sometimes healing looks like softness. Sometimes it looks like slowing down. Sometimes it looks like finally letting yourself feel what you pushed away for too long. You have not gone backwards. You are not losing ground. You are simply reaching the places inside of you that needed attention. This is growth, even if it feels tender. You don't have to rush this. Your heart is allowed to take its time. Your spirit is allowed to move gently. You don't need to pressure yourself to be better quickly. What I am doing in you is not shallow. It is not temporary. It is not surface-level comfort. I am rebuilding you from the inside, with care, with patience, with compassion. Even when you feel tired, I am working. Even when you feel nothing, I am restoring. Even when you feel lost, I am guiding. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything. Everything you need will meet you at the moment you are ready to receive it. So release the timeline you've been comparing yourself to. Release the pressure to catch up. Release the fear that you are somehow falling short. My love is not based on your speed. My plan is not fragile. My promise is not easily broken. You are held inside something steady. And I need you to understand this. Nothing about your journey intimidates me. Not the anxiety, not the doubt, not the confusion, not the days when your faith feels thin and your strength feels distant. I do not flinch when you are overwhelmed. I do not step back when you are hurting. I do not judge you for being tired. I stay. I stay with you. I stay for you. I stay because you are mine. You do not have to be perfect to be loved by me. You do not have to be fearless to walk with me. You do not have to be certain to be guided by me. All you need to do is keep letting me in, even just a little. When the fear rises, come to me. When the tears come to me. When you don't know what to pray, just be with me. I don't need eloquent words. I don't need grand promises. I don't need strength you don't have. I just need your heart open enough to let me hold it. This is how healing happens. Not all at once, but moment by gentle moment. Every breath you take with me is progress. Every time you choose peace over panic, even for 1 second, is progress. Every time you pause instead of spiraling is progress. Every time you remember you are held, that is healing. You are doing better than you believe. You are growing deeper than you realize. You are being prepared for something beautifully unfolding. And you don't need to force it. Just keep breathing. Just keep leaning. Just keep coming back to me when your heart needs rest. I am not leaving. I am not changing. I am not letting go. I am here and I am staying. You've been asking for peace, but you've also been holding on to thoughts that work against it. And I know you don't mean to. I know you're trying. I know you're just tired. I know your mind learned to prepare for disappointment as a way to survive. But you don't have to live like you're bracing anymore. You don't have to scan the horizon for trouble. Not here. Not with me. Peace isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. And I am giving it to you now. But peace has to replace something. It needs room. It needs space. It needs quiet places inside you to settle and take root. You have carried fear for so long that it has started to feel familiar, like part of you, like something natural. But it is not who you are, and it is not who you are becoming. You are not meant to live in constant readiness for pain. You don't need to defend yourself against what is not coming. You don't need to protect your heart from a future I have already secured. You don't need to stay tense for a battle that has already been won. Fear taught you to expect loss. I am teaching you to expect goodness. Not because the world is perfect, not because life will never have challenges, but because you are not facing any of it alone. Every step you take, I take with you. Every breath you breathe, I breathe peace into. Every moment that shakes you, I steady you. You do not have to be your own protector anymore. I am your shield. I am your fortress. I am the steady ground beneath your feet. When fear rises, don't fight it alone. Just come back to me. Just remember who holds you. Just remember whose hands your life rests in. I am not fragile. Your future is not fragile. You are not fragile. Not when you are in me. Let the fear go, gently, slowly, patiently, like unclenching your hand after it has been tense for too long. This isn't about forcing peace, it's about receiving it, and you will. Not by trying harder, but by trusting deeper. Not all at once, but breath by breath. Peace is already drawing near. Joy is already getting ready to return. Your spirit is already remembering how to breathe in safety again. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are healing beautifully, softly, quietly in ways even you cannot yet see. And I am with you in all of it. Full of patience, full of compassion, full of love that does not give up. You've been learning to trust in a place that once only knew how to fear. And that shift is not small. That shift is sacred. You are not who you used to be, even if you still feel the tremble of old habits. Healing doesn't erase the past. It just teaches your heart a new way to respond to it. So when fear rises, do not be discouraged. It is not a sign you are failing, it is a sign you are healing. It means your heart is noticing the difference now. It means you can feel when something is not aligned with truth. And that awareness is growth. You don't overcome fear by never feeling it. You overcome fear by recognizing it and choosing not to follow it. And you have been choosing differently. Even on the days when it feels like a small choice. Even when all you did was breathe through the moment instead of running from it. Even when all you did was whisper my name in the middle of the overwhelm. That matters. That moves mountains inside you. That is real transformation. Do not minimize how far you've come. Your heart used to panic at the first sign of uncertainty. Now it pauses. Now it listens. Now it looks for me. And that is no small change. There is a softness returning to you. A softness that is not weak but strong in a quiet way. Strong because it trusts. Strong because it doesn't need to control everything. Strong because it understands now that peace can exist even when clarity has not fully arrived. You are learning how to exist without tension. You are learning how to breathe again without fear gripping your lungs. You are learning how to feel without being overwhelmed. That is healing. And I am so gentle with you through it. I do not hurry you. I do not demand perfection from you. I do not get frustrated when you need reassurance again. I understand the wounds you are recovering from. I understand the nights that shaped your fear. I understand the years you survived without anyone to hold you. You are not dramatic for needing comfort. You are not weak for needing reassurance. You are not behind for healing slowly. You are human. And I love you, fully, constantly, without shifting, without hesitation. So when the old patterns whisper, when your thoughts try to convince you that nothing is changing, when your heart tries to go back to bracing, just come back to me. Not with effort, not with force, just with honesty. Lord, I'm scared. Lord, I don't know what to do. Lord, I need you. Those words are enough to move heaven. You don't have to be strong to be held. You just have to be willing to rest in my arms, and I'm here, right here, closer than your breath, steady, patient, unchanging. Stay with me. You are safe here. We are not done. And what is coming is more gentle, more beautiful, more real than your fear has ever allowed you to imagine. You've been trying to earn peace by figuring everything out, but peace does not come from understanding every detail. Peace comes from knowing you're not alone in any of it. You don't need the full picture to be safe. You don't need the timeline to be certain. You don't need the plan to feel secure. Your safety is not in what you know. It is in who holds you. And I hold you. When your mind reaches into the future, trying to prepare for every possible outcome, it is because you've been taught that pain can be avoided if you can just predict it. But I don't need you predicting pain. I need you trusting my presence. The future is already taken care of. I am already in all the days you haven't lived yet. I have already made room for what will matter. I have already softened the moments that would have overwhelmed you. I have already arranged support, provision, grace, healing, help before you even ask. You don't have to stay awake at night figuring out what to do. You don't have to go over every scenario. You don't have to brace your heart for disappointment. I am not preparing you for loss. I am preparing you for life. And life with me is not fear-based survival. It is steady, gentle, unfolding restoration. When your thoughts start racing, slow them by remembering this. You do not guide yourself alone. You do not walk into the unknown alone. You do not face tomorrow alone. You walk with me. I go before you. I stay beside you. I carry what is too heavy for you. Your only task is to take one step at a time, not leaps, not sprints, not all at once. Just the step in front of you. The rest is mine. Your heart has been trying to live in places it is not meant to live yet. Return to the present. Return to the breath you are in. Return to the moment where I am holding you now. Peace is here. Every time you choose to slow down your fear, even just a little, your spirit strengthens. Every time you choose trust over panic, even for one small moment, your heart heals. Every time you choose rest, even before everything is solved, your faith deepens. You are learning to live differently now. You're learning to live with openness instead of fear, with softness instead of tension, with trust instead of control. And I am so gentle with you through it. You don't have to hurry. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to get it right all at once. Just stay close. I will guide you. I will steady you. I will show you the way, step by step, breath by breath, day by day. You don't need to understand the path to walk it. You just need to take my hand. And you have it, now and always. I am not letting go. You've been carrying the belief that if you don't hold everything together, it will all fall apart. But that belief didn't come from me. That came from the times you had to be strong because no one was there to help you. From the moments life felt unpredictable, so you taught yourself to stay alert. From the disappointments that made you feel like the only safe place was the one you controlled. But you are not living those moments anymore. You are allowed to rest now. You don't have to brace anymore. You don't have to stay tense inside your own life. You learn to survive. Now I am teaching you how to live. You don't need to fix yourself before coming to me. You don't need to feel strong before leaning on me. You don't need to have clarity before choosing trust. I meet you exactly where you are. Not one step ahead, not one step better, not one step stronger, right where you are. And I do not rush you. Let the healing be slow. Let it be gentle. Let it be deep. There is no timeline you need to compete with. There is no standard you need to reach to be worthy of love. You were loved before you grew. You were loved before you healed. You were loved before you changed. You are loved now, even in your confusion, even in your weariness, even in your quiet struggle. You are already enough for me. So release the idea that your value comes from how well you cope. Release the pressure to be strong all the time. Release the fear that you must prove you're okay. You don't have to be okay for me to stay. You don't have to be confident for me to guide you. You don't have to be fearless for me to love you. My love has never depended on your performance. You can let yourself fall into my arms without being ready. You can rest here before anything is resolved. You can breathe here without knowing what comes next. You do not need certainty to be safe. You are safe because you are mine, and I hold what you cannot. I cover what you can't see. I handle what you are tired of carrying. Rest in that. You don't have to keep reaching for control. You can let go now, slowly, gently, piece by piece. Your heart is learning a new language, the language of trust. Not trust in a plan, not trust in a result, but trust in me, and I will not fail you. You've spent so much time carrying questions that were never meant to be answered all at once. You've tried to understand every reason, every delay, every closed door, hoping that clarity would make it easier to trust. But trust doesn't grow from explanations. Trust grows from presence, from staying, from letting yourself lean even when you don't fully understand where things are headed. You don't need to know why everything has happened to know you're being led. You don't need to have the full story to take the next breath. You don't need certainty to rest in my arms. You just need to remember that I am here. You've prayed for peace, and I am giving it. Not through control, but through release. You've prayed for direction, and I am guiding you, not by showing the whole path, but by lighting today. You've prayed for strength, and I am strengthening you, not by making you harder, but by making you softer in the right ways. I'm not trying to make you tough. I'm trying to make you free. Free from the past that taught you to hide your heart. Free from the fears that convinced you love cannot stay. Free from the belief that you have to earn your place in the world. You are already held. You are already chosen. You are already safe in my hands. I am not preparing you for disappointment. I am preparing you for fullness. That's why the old patterns are being loosened. That's why your spirit feels tender sometimes. That's why you feel things rising to the surface, not to break you, but to release you. When your heart aches, don't run from it. I am there in the ache. When the tears come, let them. I am there in the softness. When the fear whispers, do not fight it alone. Call my name, even quietly, and I will answer. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I always answer. Not always in loud ways, but always in real ones. In the warmth you feel when you breathe slowly. In the peace that settles for just a moment. In the thought that says, maybe I don't have to hold this alone. That's me. That's my voice. That's my presence. That's my comfort. You are never the one who holds on the tightest. I am. You don't have to cling to me in fear. I am holding you in love. Nothing can pull you out of my hands. Not your doubt. Not your worry. Not your exhaustion. Not your mistakes. Not your past. Not your fear of the future. I am here. I am steady. I am constant. And I am not going anywhere. Rest. You are safe now. You've been feeling the weight of decisions as though every choice could make or break your future. But you don't have to fear choosing wrong. You don't have to fear missing what I've prepared for you. When you walk with me, nothing meant for you can pass you by. Nothing I ordained can be lost. Nothing I have aligned for your life can slip through your fingers. You do not have to make every choice perfectly. I do not guide you through pressure. I guide you through peace. Even when you don't feel certain, I am leading. Even when you feel unsure, I am steady beneath you. Even when you hesitate, I am still directing your steps. You are not walking blind. You are walking with me. And I know how to lead you. I know how to close the doors that are not meant for you. I know how to protect you from what would harm you. I know how to keep you from settling for less than what I have prepared. You've been afraid to trust your own heart because you felt the sting of disappointment before. But your heart is not navigating this journey alone. Your heart is held in my hands. You can let go of the fear that you might ruin something by not getting it perfect. I am bigger than your mistakes. I am bigger than your confusion. I am bigger than your timing. I am bigger than your hesitation. Your life is not fragile in my care. So when you feel uncertain, instead of asking, "What if I choose wrong?" ask, "Lord, stay close." Because when I am close, peace comes, clarity comes, direction comes. Not all at once, but in the moment you need it. You don't need the map, you need the guide. And I am leading you, not from far ahead, not from a distance, not from a place you have to chase, but from right beside you. Shoulder to shoulder, breath to breath, heart to heart. I do not leave you to figure out the steps alone, so loosen your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Let the tightness in your chest soften. You are not making this journey by yourself. When you don't know what to do next, rest. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. When you need reassurance, ask. I am not hard to reach. I am not withholding myself. I am not testing you to see if you can navigate without me. I want you to lean. I want you to ask. I want you to rely on me deeply. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to perform for me. You don't have to prove yourself to me. You already belong. You already are loved. You already are mine. And I am not letting go of you. Not now. Not ever. I never asked you to carry the world. I asked you to walk with me. When you do, I'll carry the world for you. This is your moment to shift, not by effort, but by trust. Let me be your strength. Let me be your steady ground. Let me hold what's unknown and lift the weight you fear. You were not designed to live under constant pressure. That's not endurance, that's bondage. I came to set you free. Hand it to me, child. The part that's too big, the load that's too heavy. You're not failing. You're finally letting the one who never fails take over. You've let your thoughts run ahead of me so far that they've started steering your direction, your mood, your identity, even your faith. But I didn't place you under the rule of your own understanding. Your thoughts are powerful, yes, but they were never meant to be your leader. They're tools, not rulers, servants, not kings. I'm calling you back to a higher authority, my spirit. The loops and the racing and the weight in your mind were never meant to drive your decisions or define your worth. You've treated every thought like truth, like it holds the final word, like it decides what happens next. That is not the order I built into you. You're not called to follow your thoughts. You're called to renew them. That begins by letting me, not your logic, sit in the seat of leadership. I'm not asking you to turn off your brain. I'm asking you to bring it back under the covering of my voice. When your thoughts wander without me, they build fear instead of faith. They write stories I never wrote, dwell on pain I've already healed, and plan for battles I've already won. The more you chase those patterns, the more distant I feels. Not because I moved, but because your focus did. Your thoughts got louder than my spirit, and they started calling the shots. I want to show you a better way, a way where your soul can breathe, where peace is your compass, not anxiety, where wisdom flows from within instead of being chased from without. That begins when you decide your thoughts will no longer govern you. Not every inner voice deserves agreement. Not every idea is truth. Not every mental story should be followed. This is the shift. Stop receiving every thought as final and start filtering them through my spirit. I gave you discernment for a reason. I gave you power to interrupt the noise. You don't have to go where your thoughts try to drag you. You don't have to live under every fear, every insecurity, every overanalysis that pulls you away from me. That's not spiritual maturity, that's mental captivity. The spirit I placed in you carries freedom, not confusion, clarity, not chaos, stability, not turmoil. If you've been living with unrest, pause and ask, who's been leading? I never lead with panic. I never lead with guilt. I never lead with torment. I speak through stillness, through nudges of peace, through truth that never contradicts my word. If the voice inside is rushing, accusing, overwhelming, it isn't mine. I want to retrain you to follow the whisper instead of the waves. You let the noise become normal, but I'm calling you to a supernatural quiet, not where the world is calm, but where your soul is. Let me lead from within. Let me teach your mind to listen again. Let me restore the order I created. Spirit above thoughts, truth above emotion, my presence above your plans. You don't need to figure it all out, you need to yield. When my spirit leads, peace follows. When my spirit leads, clarity comes. When my spirit leads, your thoughts stop tormenting you and start serving you. You become aligned, no longer swinging between overthinking and emotional fatigue. This is the freedom I paid for. Stop letting your thoughts play God. They're not equipped. Give me the lead again. Remember what it's like to follow instead of strive. Your mind is not your master. Place it back under the authority of my spirit where it belongs. You've been standing at the edge of something sacred, but fear keeps whispering it's far away, that it'll take years, that you missed it, that it was never coming. Hear me clearly. That is a lie. You're not as far as it feels. You're not wandering without direction. You're not teased by glimpses only to be left empty-handed. You're nearer than you realize, closer than fear allows you to believe. The resistance you feel isn't delay, it's the threshold in front of you. The enemy doesn't press this hard in the middle of a wilderness. He does it when walls are about to fall, when breakthrough is within reach, when he sees what's next and tries to cloud your vision so you stop before you step into what's opening. Don't stop now. Don't slow down. Don't give your ear to too late, too hard, too much. You've walked through valleys, yes, but a valley is passage, not ending. On the other side is fulfillment more beautiful than you expected. I've been setting the stage, preparing details, orchestrating connections. You've been faithful in what you didn't understand, and your faith has not gone unseen. Heaven recorded every yes whispered through tears, every decision to trust when it looked opposite of your prayer, every moment you refused to quit when quitting was easier. You may not feel like you moved, but in the unseen, ground shifted, walls cracked, chains broke, and now you're steps away from seeing the evidence of what I promised. This is why fear got so loud, because it knows what's about to happen. It knows that once you cross this point, the weight you've carried will lift, the story they counted out will become a testimony, the places you were overlooked will become places of favor. Fear's working overtime to pull you back, to make safe sound like expecting disappointment. But I need you to hold on anyway. When it feels like nothing moves, when silence lies, when the door looks sealed, because I'm already turning the key. Don't let a temporary delay speak a permanent verdict. You're not denied, you're positioned. Sometimes the final stretch feels hardest. Not to crush you, but to prove how much you've grown. What used to shake you is now making you strong. This season refined you, the release is near. I don't dangle hope, I am truth. When I say close, it's not a dream, it's a divine reality moving into your now. Keep walking, not because I'm testing you, but because the next step is the shift. Don't let fear steal the reward. Don't hand hope to voices that don't speak for me. Measure nearness not by sight, but by what I've said, and what I've said still stands. Breakthrough isn't far, it's right in front of you. You asked for confirmation, for direction, for a word. But your eyes have been locked on worry so long you've missed the signals I set in front of you. I've been speaking and showing breadcrumbs, not to tease, but to guide. Fear narrowed your focus to what could go wrong instead of what I'm unfolding. You stared at closed doors and missed the ones opening nearby. You gave more attention to doubt than to what was undeniable. Stop scanning for threats and tune your heart to my presence. I've been near. I've spoken through people you almost ignored, through moments you rushed past, through quiet convictions you dismissed as random. Those were me. I was in the thought that felt out of place, in the pause that interrupted your routine. You were rehearsing fear and missed me. I'm not scolding. I'm rescuing you from distraction. If you keep watching through fear, you'll misread divine moments as danger. You'll mislabel redirection as rejection. You'll call blessings too good to be true and turn away from peace because you've trained yourself to expect pain. I'm not calling you to suspicion. I'm calling you to sensitivity. What I'm doing now isn't loud, it's precise. If you're not listening, you'll miss what you prayed for. The answer doesn't always thunder. It often arrives as stillness, as peace interrupting chaos, as clarity so simple you're tempted to dismiss it. That's me. I'm speaking differently in this season. Less external shaking, more internal alignment. Be still enough to notice. Step away from the noise. Refuse fear's filter. Fear makes every door look dangerous, every invitation feel like a trap. That's not discernment, that's distortion. I've already given wisdom to exit those cycles. You asked for a sign. The issue isn't that I haven't sent it, it's that you want it shaped to accommodate anxiety. I won't speak through fear or confirm what I didn't command. My voice calls you forward through trust, not terror. Look again, with faith. Revisit what you dismissed. Rethink the message you ignored. Recall the conversation you called random. I've been weaving confirmation into your days. I won't compete with panic. I'm not shouting over the storm. I'm inviting you to listen beneath it. The sign you seek may not be lightning. It may be a gentle knowing. A door that opens without force, a sentence that lands like it was written for you. That's me. Don't miss it this time. Lift your eyes, quiet the fear, open your heart. I'm still speaking, and the signs were in front of you all along. You asked me to clear the fog, but clarity won't land in a heart crowded with noise. I've been ready to deposit wisdom, but the space is filled with inner dialogue I didn't start. What ifs, overthinking, old echoes louder than peace. That flood is drowning out the direction I'm giving. Movement isn't progress when it's mental spinning. I don't lead through confusion. I'm the still voice beneath the storm. To hear me, you must mute what isn't me. The fear that says you're behind, the pressure demanding results without rest, the lie saying you can't trust your discernment anymore. You're trying to find clarity while carrying clutter. You can't hear clearly while hosting conversations I never began. I want to guide you without being drowned out by assumptions. Clarity doesn't shout, it settles. It needs a calm heart to welcome it. You don't need more answers, you need more quiet. Not silence outside, but stillness inside. That sacred quiet, where you're not performing in your mind or chasing shadows. In that space, my voice becomes unmistakable. Direction emerges not as a flash, but as peace you can't explain. You felt it before, you just didn't protect it. You let noise into holy spaces and chatter overrule knowing. I'm teaching you again how to recognize my clarity, how to recognize me. I don't come home wrapped in panic or pressure. I arrive with truth that doesn't rush or shame you. A deep knowing that anchors you even when the full picture isn't revealed. Before I release the next layer, remove what's in the way. Lay down urgency that wants resolution over intimacy. Release the timeline that pushes you to hear prematurely. Clear the stage of competing voices, even your own when it speaks from fatigue and fear. Clarity won't come by force. It comes when you lean. This isn't about figuring out your future. It's about creating stillness so I can speak into it. I've prepared what you're asking for, but I won't hand it to chaos. My clarity is too holy to toss into a storm of distraction. You're at a turning point. I've been lining things up, testing your awareness with small whispers. Now I'm ready to say more. Will you make space to hear it? Will you pause long enough to listen without fear shaping what you hear? Will you trust me enough to shut everything else out until only my voice remains? Come into heaven's rhythm, unhurried, confident, grounded. Step out of the mental storm into the silence where I speak. Let me fill the room you clear in your heart. What seemed hidden will become visible. What felt confusing will find order. What looked impossible will begin to open. I am bringing clarity, but it won't land in chaos. You've asked the same questions, wondering if I've been silent, wondering if I've noticed the urgency in you. I already answered. I already moved. The reason you can't see it yet isn't denial. It's that the answer is arriving in layers, pieces building into something fuller than you imagined. You're used to instant confirmation. I don't operate by fear's urgency. I answer with eternal timing. What you call delay is development. You asked for breakthrough. I said yes. You asked for doors. I opened the right one. You asked for healing, favor, direction. My response wasn't no or later. It was activated. The pace just doesn't match your expectations. You equated movement with speed, silence with absence. I'm not absent. I'm present in details forming beneath the surface, roots growing where you can't see. You're not waiting for me to answer. You're learning to trust what I already spoke. I don't play games with your heart. I don't dangle hope and pull it away. When I declare, I finish. In my rhythm, not yours. I know you've watched calendars and felt time press you. My timing isn't behind. It's ahead of your worry, ahead of your confusion, ahead of your lack. Every piece is being positioned with care. You expect a sudden moment. I'm building a sustained miracle, one that won't fade when emotions shift or crumble when circumstances test. That takes time and preparation. While you wait, I'm deepening your roots so you can carry what's coming without breaking. What I form in you now matters as much as the outcome. You're not ignored. You're invited to trust, not because you see results, but because you know me. I've gone ahead of you. I've set it in motion. I won't rush what must be complete. I care too much to give a half-formed gift. You're searching for proof. Faith is built on persistence. Remain steady between promise and appearance. Stop assuming something's wrong because the unfolding is slow. Stop comparing your timeline. Stop asking me to hurry and ask me to ground you. The answer isn't missing, it's maturing, taking shape so that when it arrives, it blesses without burden. Breathe. Lay down the worry you've carried like an unanswered question. I heard you the first time. I moved when you asked. I've been weaving it with more care than you know. This is not delay, it's divine pacing. Soon you'll see, right on time. Worry has grown loud because you're near something sacred. Anxiety knocks like an unwanted visitor, not because you're weak, but because you're at the edge. The enemy doesn't need to destroy what I'm doing if he can keep you from seeing it. Worry fogs vision just enough to see doubt about what's already in motion. He arrives with subtle lies. You're behind, you missed it, more loss ahead. To bend your gaze inward until you miss the good unfolding right now. Worry doesn't just weigh you down, it changes your posture. It pulls your head down while I'm lifting it up. It narrows perspective while I widen your path. It steals the joy of small signs that prove I'm near. If you let worry speak long enough, it becomes a lens, not a warning. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Then every opportunity looks like a trap. Every delay like failure. Every challenge like defeat. That's not truth. It's a tactic. He can't cancel my plan, so he aims to distort your perception. He can't steal your promise, so he tries to steal your hope. I'm exposing that strategy now. You're not walking in circles, you're walking toward completion. You're not stuck, you're positioned. You're not cursed, you're covered. Chaos doesn't get the final word over your atmosphere, I do. I order your steps. I prepare a table in the presence of what tries to intimidate you. I deliver results and reminders that you are chosen, carried, and equipped. Stop agreeing with fear. Stop rehearsing scenes that haven't happened. Surrender your gaze to me. Worry removes attention from me and glues it to what you can't control. That's the plan. Drain your courage, exhaust your strength, blur your vision just long enough to make you turn back. Don't retreat, don't shrink. Don't let the voice of fear drown out truth. I'm waking your awareness. Look at what's ahead. Not imagine pain, but what I'm actually building. You asked me to show you what's coming. I am. Clear the fog. Take your thoughts captive. See worry for what it is, not a protector, a distraction. I don't lead with torment. I lead with wisdom, with peace. And I'm guiding you right now. The blessing coming is not a rumor. It's a reality. If worry leads, you'll overlook it, underestimate it, or walk away. Refuse that bait. Step out of the mental battlefield. Stand in my word. What's coming will answer prayer and prove the war in your mind wasn't about delay. It was about blocking your view of a blessing already on the way. You weren't designed to run endless simulations of disaster. I didn't breathe life into you so you could spend your days bracing for what I never authored. I formed you for truth. I put my spirit in you so your thoughts would echo promise, not repeat anxiety's script. Somewhere you learned to rehearse worst-case endings and called it wisdom. It isn't. It's torment in disguise. You were made to speak life, to proclaim what I've said before you see it, to take hold of my truth and silence the enemy with your declarations. But you've been giving your voice to fear until it feels more real than my word. You say you want a sign, but what you rehearse shapes what you're willing to see. Expectation got infected by fear. You began to anticipate disappointment, to brace for pain. That mindset doesn't protect your heart, it blocks the flow of faith. Fear never stays quiet. It speaks, influences, and teaches your heart to make room for what I never promised. In doing so, it steals the authority I gave your voice. I'm calling you back. You're made in my image. I create with words, and so do you. When you speak what I say, things shift, atmospheres align, strongholds weaken, fear loses grip. That can't happen while you're repeating the enemy's lines. Make a holy trade. Release the habit of rehearsing disaster and practice declaring destiny. When fear says you're not enough, speak, chosen, loved, set apart. When the enemy whispers it's too late, declare, I make all things new. When discouragement says the door is closed, proclaim, I open what no one can shut. Don't wait for everything to feel safe before you speak with authority. Your voice carries power because it's rooted in me. Don't just think my truth. Speak it until it's louder than your fear. That's how strongholds break, how clarity returns, how peace is restored. No more living on defense. No more spiritual survival. No more fear disguised as caution. I'm raising you to walk in the strength I placed in you. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're a vessel of my glory. Let your thoughts and words reflect that. Stop letting worry narrate your life. Declare what heaven is saying, even when earth looks different. That's faith. That's trust. Speak as if the promise is already standing in front of you, because in the Spirit it is. Align your words with my truth, and your life will align with my will. Stop rehearsing disaster. Stop feeding fear with imagination. Start forecasting your future with my promises, because they are your only forecast. You keep replaying endings I never wrote, disappointment, rejection, silence, as if expecting the worst prepares you for it. Hear me. That is not your story. The script you've been looping didn't come from me. It was shaped by pain and whispered by the one who wants you stuck. Every time you agree with it, you hand power to a narrative that lacks my signature. I don't lead by intimidation. My plans carry peace. My ways are filled with hope. My promises are rooted in love, not pressure. If the enemy can get you to imagine a dark future, you'll start shrinking in the present. You'll hesitate to obey. You'll delay your yes. You'll miss the joy surrounding you. Worry reaches into tomorrow and steals the energy you need for today. It convinces you to pre-live pain that may never come. It tells you expecting bad news protects your heart. That's a lie in caution's clothing. You weren't made to prepare for pain. You were made to carry purpose. Yes, there will be stretch, but even there, I redeem and write every attempt at harm into my story of good. I never promised a life without battle, but I promised you'll never fight alone. So stop imagining abandonment, failure, and loss. That's trauma talking, not truth. When those scenes begin, pause. Ask, who sent this? Does it look like the God I know? If it pulls you toward despair, it's not from me. I don't give visions to fear. I give insight to build. I plant dreams to stir faith, not anxiety. You're made to carry promises, not predictions of ruin. I've already spoken over your future. Favor, breakthrough, restoration, renewal. Tear up the scripts I didn't write. Replace them with my truth. Let your imagination be made holy again. Let your hope rise above the noise. Believe that what's ahead isn't to be feared, it's to be anticipated. I go before you, stand behind you, walk beside you. Your future is not to dread, it's to declare. You've stared at what you don't understand, measuring your future through fear. Like what's ahead is something to survive instead of something you're prepared to carry. What's coming is not to fear, it's to embrace. I've been building in the background, beyond what your eyes can see. Your worry can't outweigh my plan. You've looked at challenges like giants. They're small beside the glory about to be revealed in you. Those overwhelming things were not the headline. They were distractions testing whether you trust me over intimidation. You're closer than you think to a chapter that will redefine what came before. I'm not only sending comfort, I'm releasing transformation. I'm not just offering relief, I'm unveiling what I whispered in private. Your mind wants to shrink my promise to something manageable, so it won't disappoint you. But my promise was never small, and fear can't cancel what I'm unfolding. You're not facing destruction, you're at the entrance of destiny. The pressure you feel is not danger, it's positioning. The shaking isn't collapse, it's doors unlocking, foundations shifting, strongholds dismantling. Don't let fear tell you this is too big for you. You were chosen for this season, equipped for this battle, prepared in secret for what will be revealed in the open. I didn't waste your tears or overlook your faithfulness. I stored every prayer, every surrender, every quiet yes. Now I'm pouring back what was sown, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Do not shrink. Don't let voices keep you small when I'm calling you to rise. Don't let past pain teach you to fear your future. I didn't bring you this far to leave you in anxiety. I brought you to launch you, to establish you, to put what taunted you under your feet. You carry more strength than you feel, more authority than you realize. What's coming isn't the end, it's the overflow. Fix your eyes, steady your heart, prepare to receive what only I could orchestrate. It won't follow your script, but it will be wider, deeper, and more beautiful than fear allowed you to imagine. I'm not intimidated by what scares you. I don't need your comfort zone to do the eternal. What's coming is bigger. Bigger than battles and losses, bigger than fear prepared you for. There's been a battle in your mind, not because you're unworthy, but because you're dangerous to darkness. Not enough, missed it, not ready. Those lies weren't born in your spirit, and they didn't come from me. They were arrows aimed at your identity to disqualify you before you step into what I chose. Your confidence is under siege because you carry purpose. The louder the attack, the clearer the evidence that what you carry threatens fear's kingdom. You've believed too many lies without asking where they came from. You looked at your past, flaws, delays, and limits, and use them as proof you're not capable. I never required perfection, only willingness. You're more prepared than you think. You walked through fire and kept your faith. You endured seasons with no applause and kept showing up. That doesn't disqualify you. It proves you're ready. Doubt called your strength weakness. That's the real attack. Not your situation, but your self-perception. If the enemy distorts your image, he can keep you small even in seasons of enlargement. You'll sabotage opportunities I've already said yes to. You'll assume feeling overwhelmed means you're unequipped, when it often means you're being expanded. These thoughts were assigned to keep you from realizing how close you are. Stop listening. You're not disqualified. You were deceived. I break that lie now. I didn't choose you for flawless execution. I chose you because I see the end from the beginning. I saw what others overlook. I saw the purity of your yes when you felt broken. I saw your hunger when your voice shook. I see past insecurity and history, and still say you're mine. You are not the sum of missteps. You are the result of my mercy. I don't revoke callings because of conflict. I reinforce them with grace. When the thoughts come, and they will, remind them whose you are. Speak truth louder than the lies. No more agreements with inner accusations. No more measuring your future by old wounds. No more holding back because of imagined disapproval. I approve you. I've anointed you. My hand is not easily removed. You're not underqualified. You've been underestimated. They thought your story ended. I was writing resurrection. The tears were preparation. The delay was development. The silence set the stage. Now you stand at the edge, where your authority will be recognized, where your voice carries healing, where your scars speak freedom. To walk in it, silence the story that says not ready. You are, not because you feel it, but because I declared it. Lift your eyes from your resume to the revelation I gave. You're not what fear labeled you. You are chosen, appointed, equipped, and called. No thought, no person, no mistake can undo what I've written. Not one tear slipped by me. Not one quiet breakdown, hidden sigh, or silent plea. You've carried weight beneath your smile and pain beneath your strength. I was there in the invisible, not distant, but beside you, working on what you couldn't see. You assumed I wasn't moving because you couldn't measure change. I've been moving the whole time, just not how you expected. I'm not patching holes. I'm rebuilding foundations. I'm not bandaging wounds. I'm healing roots. That kind of transformation requires a protected process. If I revealed it all at once, the enemy would try to intercept, and you might doubt it before it was ready. That's why it's been quiet, not because I left, but because I crafted what needed stillness. Silence didn't mean absence, it meant strategy. Delay wasn't punishment, it was protection. Now you'll see piece by piece what I shaped in shadows. You fought in public while I set victory in private. I answered prayers you forgot you prayed. I aligned right people, cleared wrong paths, shifted what needed to go, so you wouldn't carry this forever. You were never meant to fight alone, and you haven't. While you pushed through darkness, I orchestrated light. I arranged breakthrough in ways your logic can't design. I didn't forget you. I won't hand you a premature solution. You don't need quick fixes. You need a future that won't collapse. That's what I'm building. You want signs of progress. I'm giving preservation, saving you from what you didn't see forming. I'm resolving beyond your request because I see beneath the surface. You want pain to stop? I want purpose to begin. You want the burden lifted? I want your heart renewed. I'm doing both, external and internal at once. That takes time. I don't do half freedom. I complete what I start. I've started something in you that's almost ready to be revealed. Stop assuming I forgot because you haven't seen the outcome. I wasn't still. I was silent. That silence is about to break. You'll notice doors opening without force, peace returning without explanation, strength replacing survival. This is not coincidence. It's the unveiling of what I promised. You've treated waiting like rejection, as if lack of immediate results means I withdrew my promise. Hear me. Not yet is not no. Delay is not denial. Silence is not abandonment. This is a holy pause. A sacred space between seed and harvest where roots strengthen. Don't ask, why not yet? Ask, will I trust while it hasn't yet? I'm not pacing to frustrate you. I'm aligning more than your readiness. I'm preparing you to carry what comes. Growth is happening in places you can't see. Character, trust, discernment, resilience. I won't release a promise half-baked. If I handed it too soon, it would feel like pressure, not provision. When I release it in perfect time, it will flow, not strain. You've thought delay meant distance. I've been drawing you closer, teaching you to praise me in quiet, in unclear spaces, when the clock keeps ticking. That's not punishment, it's promotion. It's deeper maturity, not based on signs but surrender. Wait well. Grow in ways no shortcut can offer. I know waiting hurts and stretches. Trust me, what I'm setting up is worth every second. You're not late. You didn't miss it. You're where I need you. Your posture in waiting shapes how you'll walk in fulfillment. Stand. Don't collapse. Don't let frustration rewrite your confession. Keep declaring what I said, even when it looks delayed. Heaven hasn't said no. Heaven is saying almost. While you wait, I'm working, redeeming time, healing places you didn't know needed wholeness, breaking ties that would hinder your next level, preparing a platform so that when you enter the fullness of what I promised, there will be no confusion about who did it. You won't manipulate the door or beg the opportunity. You'll walk in and know this was God, and it was worth the wait. What you feel, the heaviness, pressure, restlessness, isn't failure or lost direction. It's evidence you're approaching more than you can yet hold. The atmosphere tightens before a release. The weight isn't to crush you, it's to stretch you and make room. It feels like stress, but it's transition. You're shifting levels, and stretch wears discomfort's mask. Lean in. You're not buried. You're pressed into breakthrough. The ground isn't unstable. It's moving. You're not unraveling. You're expanding. The tension is a holy indicator. The season is turning. I know you've questioned everything. The mental weight is loud. Emotion is layered. Breathing feels hard. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. I'm enlarging your capacity so what I place in your hands won't crush your spirit. The assignment requires resilience, clarity, sensitivity, shaped in pressure. The tears and restless nights aren't random, they're symptoms of increased weight. You're tired not because you're weak, but because you've been faithful. And your soul is catching up to what your spirit knows. Something is about to shift. You grew in silence, matured through testing, and now the pressure signals the barrier is about to break. This is build-up, not breakdown. Don't let stress define you. Let it sharpen you and recenter you on what matters. My voice, my presence, my promise. Stress is real, but it isn't in charge. It doesn't write your next chapter. It doesn't sit on the throne. It doesn't override what I've spoken. This is uncomfortable, not purposeless. You're not circling. You're being carved into someone who can sustain answered prayer. Resistance is a clue. Warfare is a clue. Fatigue is a clue. They point to proximity. You're closer than ever. Don't pull back. Don't abandon what I told you in the quiet. Anchor deeper. Let me show you how to carry what's next with peace. Stress isn't your enemy. It's your indicator. Your stress isn't proof you're not strong enough. It's proof something powerful is pressing against your current borders and about to break through. When it does, you'll see every battle and confusing day pointed to this moment. You're on the edge of something holy. Don't turn around. The pressure means the promise is near. Stand firm. What's coming is holy. You've exhausted yourself, trying to predict and piece together what's ahead. I never asked you to carry the blueprint. I asked you to trust the builder. You don't need every answer, timeline, connection, or explanation to take the next step. Desire for clarity isn't wrong, but when it replaces reliance on me, it distracts. I never promised you to understand everything in advance. I promised I'd go before you. I'm leading you through unfamiliar ground to develop something deeper than sight, your ability to stay aligned with my voice when the path feels hidden. I'm teaching you to move by faith, not formula, by presence, not projections, to lean into me, not assumptions. The temptation now is to disconnect because it doesn't look like you imagined. You think you need information, you need intimacy, stillness with me, silence in your soul to hear the whisper again. If I showed you everything at once, you'd try to skip steps essential to preparation. I'm not hiding to punish, I'm withholding to protect. Build your faith on my voice, and you'll stand when the terrain changes. You asked for the next step. I'm asking for your focus. Are your eyes on me or the circumstance? Have you chased clarity more than my character? I don't need you to figure it all out. I need your surrender. Alignment brings acceleration. When your posture is faith, even without details, I can move faster on your behalf. Shift situations, open doors, align resources that won't answer fear. If you micromanage what I authored, you'll delay what you're praying for. There's a reason I give glimpses. I'm inviting you to walk with me moment by moment, to wake and ask, "What now, Lord?" Lean in with humility, not just strategy. This journey isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about cultivating closeness. I'm forming who you're becoming, more than perfecting your understanding. As you stay close, the path gets clear as you walk, not before. I light the way step by step so you remain dependent, not distant. That's how I keep your heart soft, protect you from pride, prayer as performance, and striving for a future I've already finished. Release the burden of knowing everything. Lay down the pressure to predict. Come back to me, not for another answer, but for alignment. That's where peace lives. That's your power, not in knowing the future, but in trusting the one who holds it. I'm not asking you to be the architect. Walk with the author. Keep in step, and the pieces that seem out of place will make sense in time. You don't need every detail. You need every step with me. Stay aligned, and I will handle what you cannot see. I will not let you miss what I've written. Stay with me. Stay steady. I'm leading you exactly where you need to be. Amen.